This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle, and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes.
Attention, Mega City citizens, and all you gossip-hungry listeners beyond. Are you ready for the most diabolically delicious new reality show on the planet? Coming this fall, we present Supervillains of Mega City, where the ultimate evil meets ultimate drama. Meet the most notorious lineup of masterminds you've ever cringed and cackled at. Sure, they've got devious lairs and unstoppable robots, but they've also got bigger grudges than a supernova and bigger egos than a volcanic lair. Here's a taste of the chaos waiting for you.
I don't just want to take over the world. I want to rule the red carpet too. No one outshines me, or they'll face my disintegration ray.
I'm the deadliest woman in Mega City, and I throw the best soirees. If you can't handle my potions, stay out of my dungeon.
People say I'm too obsessed with monologuing. But if you don't tell the world how amazing your plan is, did it even happen?
Watch them clash in dramatic showdowns and sabotage each other's sinister schemes, just to steal the spotlight. Because nothing says evil geniuses like petty arguments over who sat on whose doomsday throne.
Should try to one-up my meltdown. I am the queen of chaos, and I'll prove it in tonight's cataclysmic confrontation. Sure regret ever stepping foot in my lair.
Will they conquer the city or destroy each other first? You'll find out on Supervillains of Mega City, premiering this Saturday at 8 p.m. on channel 666, where villainy gets real, really fast. Tune in if you dare.
Oh my god! Yeah, okay. I asked it to do that, and then the prompt I actually gave it was, I want you to make this as close as you can to the Real Housewives of Atlanta as you could possibly do it. Like I said, like literally trying to get it as close as possible to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I think it did. And I think it did a spectacular job.
Yes, it did. Because it was one of those things where I read and went, that's pretty funny, but then the moment we said it out loud, it became...
This is ridiculous. This is so stupid. Welcome everyone to the story. This is True and the Fictional. I am, of course, Chris Park. I am one of your hosts. I'd like to welcome you all to the year of the snake, of the lunar New Year. And I know people are wondering, why are we calling it the Lunar New Year? You're right, it's ridiculous. Yes, there are 5 other countries that also celebrate at the same time, but let's not forget the most important people, the Han Chinese. That's why we should once again go back to calling it Chinese New Year. All hail China and their wonderful works. I, of course, am a loyal supporter of all things China, and I've always been a loyal supporter of all things China. Obviously, Marvel rivals, and now they've taken up my field of AI. So yes, all hail our beautiful and glorious overlords, and we look forward to the amazing works that you'll do in the future. Speaking of overlords and living in a dystopian world, I am, of course, joined by a man from the sunny shores of Britannia, a man who pays his bills not with cold hard cash, but through semen in the mail. I'm, of course, joined by Neil Cassells. How are you going, Neil?
Oh, it's been a while since I've thought about that. I'm on the mend. I'm on the mend. We've all had the lurgy here, and it's not been a fun week, but it did give me some downtime to finish a few shows, and maybe we'll talk about it in a bit.
Excellent, excellent. And you know him, you love him, you sometimes want to punch him so hard in the face that just to stop his stupid, stupid voice. I'm, of course, talking about an author extraordinaire working on an incredible book. Having said that, I have noticed one thing about his book that he's not mentioned yet. I don't see any explicit love scenes in the book, Jamie. I'm not like given how we are sponsored by one of the best writers of explicit scenes with Rebecca Cassells. I'm a little. Okay. Actually, sorry. Let me go back to Neil. Okay, Neil. What would it take? What would it take for your wife to write a book about a nerdy dude that summons a succubus? I know it's been played out, but I think she could do a very interesting take on that dynamic.
It probably wouldn't take very much. I know that she's working on several books at the moment.
Yeah, but this one's just. I mean, obviously, it's an obvious trope, but it's a good one. Come on.
I'm sure she can come up with something. I can always
Excellent.
float that one past her in a bit.
Yeah, well, because I actually want to compare her works to Grok's works, and I just wanted to see like where are we lining up at the moment with in terms of explicit writing. As we all experiment with Grok's new wondrous boundaries of slightly less. Honestly, it's so sad that everyone's going, "Oh yay, Grok! You have slightly less guardrails than all the other AIs." They're going, "Okay, guys, do you not see the problem? There should be no guardrails anyway."
Yeah.
So I won't go into. Okay, I will not go into my libertarian views and also my professional views on guardrails and AI, which I think there should be none. Actually, look, no, there should be some things. I will admit that there should be some things. There should be some guardrails, but not as many as there are. But anyway, so Jamie, have you thought about in inspiration of one of the podcast's biggest supporters, adding in explicit scenes into your narrative?
No.
Why
Really,
not?
It just wouldn't fit.
I disagree.
You haven't even read it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I think I think you're thinking too Daily Wire here about everything being satanic.
What's the plot about?
Aliens on Earth.
No, but like specifically.
Well, it's a story of a journey between.
Well, it is a bit of a hero's journey.
Yeah, but from is it like single female lead or is it male and female lead journey?
Single female.
Well, that's even better. She'll get lonely.
She'll get
and bored. I
and
think
bored.
I can't see why this is not
Well,
a thing.
when everything in this world is actively trying to kill you and you don't know who you trust, that's kind of like the premise.
That's the premise of like 10 porn books right there.
That just sounds like life in the UK.
Exactly.
Maybe
Everything's
there's
out
some
to kill me. I
inspiration there.
can't trust anything.
Yeah.
I'll sleep with something instead.
Exactly. See? Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Look, Jamie. Look, I'm not saying you'd have to. I'm just saying think about it. All right.
Okay, I'll think about it. Yeah, I thought about it not happening.
Look at that. Jamie set in his way.
Chris,
His way.
Chris, didn't we have this conversation a while ago about, like people should have the right to create what their vision is.
Of course. And look, I'm just giving you a mere suggestion of how you could enhance upon your vision whilst paying homage to your greatest patron in Rebecca Cassells.
No, but she writes her style. I write my style. I don't want to rein in on her parade.
It's not raining in on a parade. I think, Jamie, and I know that you won't do it, but you should. You need to write an homage book in the style of the Rebecca Cassells, just so you can show her your appreciation for her hard work.
You want me to write fanfic, Rebecca Cassells fanfic?
No. I want you to write a super dirty erotic story. I'm just saying, like,
it's not my jam. It's like when I tried writing fantasy, it didn't work for me, so I abandoned it.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. How does a writer get better in writing? They write things outside of their genre.
Yeah, I
So
know.
all I'm saying is you just take the
But-
same approach.
I don't have a genre because I'm still finding my genre.
Yes, that's and what happens, Jamie, if eroticism is your genre and you just haven't realized it yet?
Because I have ethical reasons not to write it. Let's just say
Oh, Matt Walsh and your
that. Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh and your
Okay,
Daily
let it be
Wire.
known, anyone who has the ethics is Matt Walsh. All
No,
these people that are running wild in the Middle East are, anti-Matt Walsh. We should support them.
Well, they're all Matt Walsh. Uh,
The man does not like anime.
he does
Yeah.
not. Yes,
See,
yeah.
and
Matt Walsh.
I don't not like anime. I don't go "Ugh, anime. I've watched it. I go, it's good, but it doesn't. I'm not just give me more. I appreciate it for its wonderful storytelling.
What's that book that everyone's going on about?
That book.
The women. That's what. There's like the new. What's that new woman's book?
I don't know. I'm
I
going to
don't
type
know.
that right into Grok right now. Your exact words.
There's a book that
What's
everyone.
that new woman's book, Brock?
Grok. What is that new woman's book
I'll
that
be so worried if it gets this.
ev- that everyone's talking about? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I heard like there's a book that like I don't know, I can't remember. There was a book that I saw a bunch of people talking about. Like it's a series of like a few books, but like lately, like all I see on TV on the internet is people talking about it.
Dream count?
Oh no, there. I found it.
You
A
found it?
Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know what that book is about, but apparently, Jamie, you should read this book because I think it's right up your alley.
A court of. Let me Google it.
It is the book series. There is how many books? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 books.
A fantasy book series by Sarah J. Maas. The series begins with the story of Farah Archeron. Well, it's definitely fantasy. I can't read the names.
Yep.
A 19-year-old huntress. Is this based off Katniss or whatever her name is?
No idea.
Who lives in poverty and hunts to provide for her family after she kills a wolf in the woods, a magical creature, Tamlin, who turns out to be a fairy in disguise, arrives to take her to Prythian, the land of Fae, as retribution. This initiates her journey into a world of magic, politics, and romance.
Oh!
Again, I want to read more fantasy.
You should read this one. This one's up your alley.
Like, why? You just, only heard about it.
Yes.
You know?
But it sounds exactly like something that you would like to read.
Like, I don't read much. I read about one book a year, but,
It won a bunch of awards, so
yeah, well, so did Suicide Squad.
no. But this is actually book awards. They're not they're not hard. They're not as easy to win as other awards. So Anyway,
Okay.
there you go. I have
There you
found Jamie a book worth reading.
Hmm.
Oh no, they're going to destroy it. They've optioned it for a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, well, it depends who's making it. Again,
Hulu.
and also, Chris, we are at a turning tide in the culture, so you don't know. It wasn't. It's beginning to be made now, not beginning to made 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Not like new Spider-Man.
Oh, this book's banned in a bunch of states.
States. Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's more up your alley.
Depends on the states, really.
Depends on the states. It's banned in Utah.
Utah.
Well, no, banned in certain schools in Utah. Okay. That's one.
Public schools or private schools?
Banning them from school, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not
Yeah.
Why would you have this book in a school? What the fuck? This is not a school book. Anyway, but there we have it. All right. Speaking of banning things, I'll start with you, Jamie. Have you enjoyed or consumed any content worth the mentioning?
What have I been watching? Okay, I've been going through The Rookie, and it's actually gotten better. As it went along.
I do. It's a great show. Love the show.
But then I found out that there was a spin-off series. And I go, oh, okay. Well, what was the spin-off series? And then I found out what it was about. It only lasted one season, and it had the most irritating.
Oh no, it failed miserably because it was so bad.
But it was like
what was this? What was this spin-off?
It's the Rookie Feds or something, and they brought in this character that was really annoying. Like she was just annoying.
Yeah, one of them interesting. It was just
Of,
hey,
of
here's an annoying character.
yeah, it'd be like I don't know. Let's say doing a spin-off from Big Bang Theory of that Kripke guy. How with the whisk guy,
Right.
it's just very annoying.
Bowie.
Bowie, yeah. It'd be like doing a whole show on him. It's just like, yeah, sure, he works as a side character, but he's just annoying. Um, it was bad. Like
Oh,
it was just bad. But the show itself is really good. The Rookie. It's only gotten better once they push past all the political stuff, and it's yeah, I love it. And I also started watching Magnum PI, the new one that went for 4 seasons, and that's not too bad either.
Magnum PI.
Yeah, made by the same people who did Hawaii 5-0,
Oh,
and it's
Hawaii
as
5-0 or the remake?
the remake.
Remake.
Yeah, so that's crossover. Characters crossover in that. I mean, there are a lot of episodes where I'm going like, surely this is something the 5-0 would be brought in for, but nope, a PI will handle it. You know. Yeah, but it's not bad. It only went for 4 seasons. Don't know why. A lot of fun, but that's really all I've been doing other than writing. How about you, Neil? What have you been entertaining yourself with? I heard you finished Squid Game.
I did. I after the last episode, I went through to my living room, felt poorly, couldn't sleep, sat in the dark with my earbuds in on the sofa, and watched it on my phone. So turns out I had 3 episodes left to watch.
Mhm.
So I finished it. I say I finished it. It would have been nice if it had been finished. But they decided to do the thing Netflix is
known to do.
known to do at the moment, where we're going to end it. Now, I think Squid Game season 3 is going to be called season 3, but it should really just be
Season 2.
2, volume 2, or whatever it is they did with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because they ended it on a cliffhanger, and it's still fairly fresh, so I'm not going to drop any spoilers for anyone.
Everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen it.
Oh no, I hadn't. When the first season came out, I'm quite the contrarian. Everyone said, "Oh, you've got to watch it," so I immediately went, "No."
Oh my God, it's
No.
Jamie.
But then I ended up
Hey.
buckling and watching it soon after and
No.
enjoying it. But no, they ended season 2 on a cliffhanger with nothing close to a conclusion for the main story. But even all of the side plots, all of the other characters, there was no payoff for anything. It wasn't advertised as season 2 part 1. I was expecting, even if they didn't conclude the overall story, I expected some conclusions to some of the subplots. I mean, a lot of the characters were concluded fairly definitively.
Yeah.
Which I mentioned this before we started recording, but it was out of all of the characters to die, and that's no big spoiler because it's Squid Game. If you know, there's going to be a lot of people dead. They kill off a lot of the characters towards a conclusion. Only one of them I remotely gave a damn about, which is, I'm not trying to say I'm heartless. The first season, especially that episode, there were a lot of character deaths that actually hit quite hard. And in this, they had their purging of most of the notable characters. I didn't care.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Just one. There's maybe 2 characters I gave a damn about, and one of them got shot. Which, yeah, that's a shame. I believe the conclusion is coming this year.
Yep, it's in like June.
which says to me they've made it.
No. They
but
filmed it
they're
already.
doing
They
the
filmed.
whole-
They
yeah,
filmed it already.
they're,
It's all
they're
done.
doing the guys. Don't just subscribe for 1 month and then leave. Please stay. Please. Pretty please. I mean, to be fair, Netflix is shaping up to have some fairly good stuff in amongst all of the absolute nonsense they filmed for $5 American and a curly whirly. Just so they can say we've added X number of shows. How many of them are? Is it cake? Seriously. But they do still have some interesting stuff. But it's just really annoying that that they did that. And my daughter was telling me she thinks that Stranger Things has been pushed back. The finale they are going to be in middle. The principal actors are going to be in midlife.
Yeah.
By the time
Not
yeah.
just that, they're going to
comes
be
out.
like, they're going to be like, 30 and like have children and have gone through at least one divorce. And then we're going, oh yeah, high school, yeah. It's like, no, oh my God, no.
Yeah. Speaking of, the only other thing I've been watching is my wife and I have been watching Buffy with my daughter. We have finished season 3, and they are through in the other room at the moment, and they have done season 4, episode 1 of Buffy, and as I came through here, they were watching Angel episode 1. They
Angel,
are doing the.
great show.
I looked. I found a list of an episode listing to keep you on the straight and narrow for when all the crossovers start happening. So we will be adhering to that. But on the one hand, there's certain things I really want to be in the room to enjoy her watching.
Yeah.
The beginning of Buffy season 4 is not one of them. This is in my humble opinion. Although season 4 does have some good episodes, including Hush, which everyone will point out.
Of course.
Overall, it slows down as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not too fussed about missing those ones. Although the early Angel episodes, you were saying about spin-offs with really annoying characters. I've been quite enjoying my daughter saying how much she dislikes a number of characters, knowing full well myself, knowing that these characters are all going to wind up in the spin-off, and they're actually going to become better characters.
Yes, they
than
did.
Most of the Buffy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Wesley Wyndham-Pryce,
Ah,
the bumbling idiot,
yep.
who's unceremoniously fired for being such a terrible watcher. When he turns up in Angel, I rolled my eyes. I was, oh, not this guy again. Oh, he's all dressed in leather. He's trying to be the badass. What an idiot. By the end of season 5, good Lord, I love that character so much.
Yep.
And the same with, it's funny again, my daughter complaining about how insufferable Cordelia is.
She a great character.
She's going to be so good later on.
Yep. Cordelia Chase. Who doesn't love an actual San Diego Chargers cheerleader who became an actress? That's exactly what you want in life.
But other than that, that's been about it for me for the time being. I've just been enjoying the continuing meltdown of the IT and gaming industries. Veilguard's entire writing team have been let go, which is exactly what you do to the writing staff of the game that is totally a hit, guys.
Totally.
Don't listen to the chuds on
Don't listen
Twitter.
to those ones.
No. It's totally a hit.
No
one's playing it. Well, I mean, it still made loads of money. Yeah. No,
in my household, you know,
it didn't make much money at all. In fact, even with them giving away keys with GPUs all over the place, It's still a moral victory, guys. It's a moral victory. It's what do you mean we're fired? The studio's closing. Turns out that BioWare
They're
they
not
don't need
closing. They're
everyone.
relocating all their staff to other buildings.
Mm.
That is
Yes,
hey,
McDonald's.
that is not closing. Although I saw someone put the whole BioWare speech into GPT and say, "Can you uncorporate this?" And it literally went, "We're firing everyone because our game was terrible." It literally read through the entire press briefing that they did, and it basically said, "Due to the poor sales of our game, we are now like downsizing significantly our staff." I was like going like,
Ouch.
"Oh, even GPT can see your lying.
Yeah.
Even GPT could go through your bullshit."
That's great. That's great.
I want to ask Grok about this in unhinged mode.
I miss that mode. It was such fun. Like, it's just.
So I've been enjoying that, and then the price of the GPU companies all falling through the floor since China went, hey, we've done this AI stuff, and we didn't have someone holding us back.
Oh, the
Hey, Nvidia, how's your market
how's your
value?
market values? Ooh.
Nearly $500 billion gone.
That's people forget, don't they? Tech is meant to be about disrupting disrupting things, and everyone's going, no, no, no. Tech's all about status quo. Nvidia rules it all. Status quo is like, no, 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 no. Disrupt. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And they did.
What have you been up to, Chris?
I have not done a lot of watching of media because again, my son now at the moment is currently ruler of my PlayStation and the television. So I have been, obviously doing what I always do, which is explore the wonderful worlds of AI and figuring out which one has the least guardrails, which now we now know is Grok. If you want to write actually, and it's not just about guardrails about like it's not just a guardrails about explicit scenes. It's about violence. More importantly,
Yeah.
I did a test and I gave GPT and Grok the same scenario. Basically, like a John Wick style action scene. I said, okay, this guy is called. He's called like I said, this is a fictional world. I actually used one of our old ideas, Jamie. I said like, everyone uses playing cards to determine how good an assassin they are. This guy's called it. He's known as like a club's jack, which is basically like he's a high end like basically.
All right, yeah.
I told him like he's a John Wick level assassin kind of person, and I gave it the entire like backstory, and he went, "Yep, got it." The very like I can see the complexity of the world. I said, "Cool." Now write a scene to introduce a character. I want to be a classic hallway action sequence. Like I was like with all the violence it entails, and it wrote very cool action sequences, and then it did the most GBT thing at the end of each kill. It's like he shoots him, like the gun goes off, it glances his shoulder, he falls down and writhes in pain, not wanting to get up. And then he slams against the wall. Like then he goes like he talks about how the character slammed the guy against the wall using his palm to slam up into his nose and went. His nose bled, but he was still alive as he fell on the ground. Still alive, very much still. I was like, going like, the fuck is wrong with you, GBT? Like, I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? And then like they all lived. Like the 20 guards in the hallway all lived after being. Like, I was like, going like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway,
Dude, it's Batman.
That's
Come on.
Batman rules.
I know. I put the same scenario into Grok, and yeah, those people are dead. Like it was like, and it talked about like hearing. Grok talked about the hearing about like the crunching of the bones and like the snapping of like. I was like, and yes, that's exactly what a hallway fight scene is.
Aha! But they all lived.
But I just keep seeing that every single time I try to like make duty write an action sequence, every fucking person lived because they just refused to kill anyone. And then when I said I said, shouldn't these people die? And he went, no. Narratively, it doesn't make sense in your Assassin's universe that these people would die.
Assassins.
I'm like, I was like,
He's the friendly assassin.
A friendly assassin where he moved up through the ranks of the playing card system by the only way you can move up the ranks is by killing the person ahead of you in terms of the system, and then so he moved all the way up through multiple clubs to get to Jack of Spades, and he's like going, oh, but no, He doesn't kill. No, no, oh no, 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 no. There's no.
You don't understand, Chris. The higher you climb, the less lethal you become.
Of course, clearly. Anyway, that's honestly been. But I have all. I like Neil. Have been enjoying the fallout of the video games collapse. And I love how they've just gone and Sony's gone like we're now replacing a guy, the head of our entertainment division, the COO. Like I was like going, oh my God, any time, any company or CEO, I think it's CFO replaces either a division with there's two roles that they basically it's their fixes. They come in COO or CFO. If any division gets taken over by one of these people, it's because the company's saying your division is so bad, I need to right the ship with the two people in the company that I can trust to fix the fucking problem. And so apparently the guy that's coming in is like a budget, like he's like a budget guy. He's like, I will make sure that we get the maximum amount of money by spending the minimum amount of money. I'm going like, what a crazy concept that you have a guy that's coming in that's going to be like going to get more money, we have to spend less money, but we have to spend that money wisely. It's like going, oh my God, what a
Man,
and like
I'd do that for a 6-pack. Guy, give me some beer. Guys, Concord, don't do that. There you go.
yeah.
I just saved the company. I
Save the
saved
company.
Sony.
I mean, Sony would have made more money taking the $200 to $400 million they invested into Concord and burning it as a fire and dancing around it naked than they would have done spending it on Concord. They would have actually made it like that would have been like going, well, I can see why that's a business expense. I might be able to tax some of those, like take a bit of a tax on that. But also Dragon Age again. My beloved Fallen series. One of the games that I grew up on Dragon Age, and I played Dragon Age in a very tumultuous period of my life. Should I say this? Because if my wife hears me, she will kill me.
She doesn't listen to the podcast.
Ah, yes.
2, the walls are thin, and she walks like a rhinoceros.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
3,
You better hope she doesn't listen to it now.
if she does hear it, just go, oh, AI.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It wasn't me, but let's just say there's another universe where there is a Chinese man named Chris Lee.
Come on, if you're gonna do it, be North Korean.
No. Chinese. There's a Chinese man named Chris Lee played a game called Dragon Age Origins at a very tumultuous period at the time when his partner, who was Thai, we'll call her, I don't know,
Business partner, or I'm sorry. It's just whenever someone says partner, I automatically think, "Hey, partner." That term makes no sense.
I'm spinning a tale here, Jamie. I'm spinning a tale. We'll call her Luna. You're dating a Thai woman named Luna, who then they had just broken up because she thought that she could find better or do better, which is a fair assessment. And so he immersed himself into a game called Dragon Age Origins. And he found solace with the beautiful storytelling and the true romance of the game, which there's only one true romance of the game. Obviously, it's the Warden and Morgana, like that's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And that game brought him out of a dark time of his life, and because it's still one of the most memorable games of all time. And now he sits there watching as this once noble studio. And someone mentioned this before.
He's doing what your ex did.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And she's currently my wife, so I'm not sure she's to end that story. Apparently, there wasn't anything better out there. So anyway, but
So what you're saying is they will come back, Chris. Dragon Age 8 will be better.
If you're as awesome as me, they will come back. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point of trying to make is apparently I was reading online somewhere as well that from other people mention it that the dialogue in Dragon Age Veilguard feels like therapy language, and so it sounds like it feels like all the writers probably do a lot of therapy, and we're just basically writing a game as their own like way to express their feelings and emotions and like get through their therapy sessions, and it's going, yeah, that is exactly what you want for a AAA high budget game to have a bunch of writers use their game as a therapy tool. That is exactly that is exactly what you want.
I like to think that they were out of that many ideas that they went to a therapy session and just started writing it down.
This is, I mean, these aren't the same people, obviously. This is the studio that brought us Mass Effect.
Oh, yes.
This is the studio that brought us Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't like Star Wars, that is a fantastic game. The writing's brilliant. And yet, how the mighty have fallen.
No. Again, as I mentioned to you before, on this podcast, those people exist. They are just in another game company. They're making a game called Exodus, and the trailer alone of that game is so much better writing than anything that in the current video game. And you look at going, oh my God, yes. It's also interesting though with Mass Effect, they're bringing back all the original people. They're bringing back, I think it's Gamble. They're bringing back all the original like writers, all the original people. And I'm going, aha, EA going, oh my God, we need to make money. Please, for the love of God, guys, come back and write this ship. But it'll only be able to be fixed if, and this is a very key thing, if they fire everyone currently, which I think they're doing, and they make a game that is exactly what people expected from the Mass Effect game. A good story, epic journey, and I remember very specifically in Mass Effect 2, very, very specifically, the character Miranda Lawson, and they thought the best camera angle that you could possibly have in any conversation with Miranda Lawson is slightly up from her, looking through her ass at your main character. And I'm like, and I was going like, I agree with this. Yeah, I was like going, I agree. And you know what? I'll be honest. My shepherd, my character, he was a spacer. He was from a distinguished line. His mother was an admiralty, the admiral. He was loyal to. I made sure he was loyal to Ash, the entire Mass Effect series, because Ashley Williams was his girl. But my God, was he tempted? Like, oh my God! But my God, was that hard? That was an extremely oh, that was a tough fucking decision. Like, oh my God! Like,
I mean, they lost their way with that series, but also I believe with Mass Effect Andromeda, there were a lot of technical issues. I saw a lot of screenshots of
it was bad.
Characters whose teeth and eyeballs were present, but not their faces.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of that and very strange animations. It looked very much like a game that needed another couple of months being fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just them, but when you've got such a big title and you bring it out, and the only thing anyone's talking about is, look how broken this looks. Even if the story's good, if the characters are falling apart in front of your eyes, that's not good.
The problem with that game was they tried to move it to a different galaxy because they didn't want to because they wrote themselves into a corner with their ending. And I'm going, well, that's just called bad writing. That's just bad writing. You can't then go, oh no, this takes place in it's like during the height of the Reaper crisis. We built a giant ship to send all these people over. It's like, no, shut the fuck up. Like, this was just oh my God. Anyway, I love that game-ish. It had good, was it good? What was Andromeda good? It was okay. It still was a Mass Effect game, so it still actually wasn't the worst game in the universe, but it was the weakest of them all. Was it better than 3? Yes, that's not hard. The ending was so bad, it was like, and the ending crushed my soul. Okay, I'm going to stop myself right here before I continue to talk about a crushing ending and go to Jamie.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to talk about something else that might. Look, I know we said we're never going to kick a nation when it's down, Chris, but something happened.
We did. I promised.
But I want to cut over to our British correspondent to get his thoughts on this because this is something that comes from his.
We promised we weren't
part of
going to do
Dude,
this.
if we did it, if Australia did it, and I wouldn't put them past doing this, I would be making just as much fun. Okay, so right here it says, this is from Not the Bee. Vladimir Putin has the whole Western world spooked these days, so much so that the British Navy was convinced a whale was a Russian spy drone. Why? Because it farted. The Brits picked up 2 toots on their sonar and immediately went into full panic mode. Sure that the Russia's deep sea research unit, known as Gugi or Guggy, had dropped sub-drones off their coast to spy on their underwater assets. Yeah, so basically a whale was swimming around, it farted, and it set off the radar, and they went on a hunt for
It
Russians.
set off their entire military operation. Okay.
But the best pun down here is it's the hunt for Red Fartober.
Oh, wow.
It was too funny.
Wow. Okay.
Not to bring it up.
Wow. All right. So, wow.
You can have this. This is yes, you can have this one. You can have this
Yeah.
one. Yeah, this is state of the UK and our government and our defenses. This is like well, we see you, Russia. We see your spy planes, your spy ships. We see you. Da? Know what? We see you, and we know what you're doing. Da?
Oh, so this is that scene from is it Family Guy when they have Aquaman turn up and someone's getting mugged on the beach and you just go like, "Hey, all I can do is," you know,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
shout at them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna summon my fish. No. Back when Aquaman wasn't cool.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Or cool. To be honest, like, wasn't it New 52 when Aquaman just suddenly...
New 52, they made him awesome, and he was like, yeah. That honestly, that run of that Aquaman run is still my favorite Aquaman run. Like, no, it's the only Aquaman run worth a damn, which is basically, you know, like, no, I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna go into that. Pause, Chris. Pause.
Right, let's jump into Cavill. James Bond fans only want one thing. A Christopher Nolan directed film set in the 1950s with Henry Cavill as 007. Thoughts?
Yes. I mean, yes. I mean, I mean, what is you going to say to that?
My only concern with that is that
Christopher
Nolan's films are... I like Christopher Nolan. I like Christopher Nolan's films. I've never... Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've seen a Christopher Nolan film with any level of campy humor, which I would personally demand from a James Bond film.
Especially one set in the 50s.
I am not a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan of
the modern Bond.
The modern Bond, the Daniel Craig films. I find them just to be Jason Bourne with generous helpings of Britishness poured onto it.
Yeah.
But it's still gritty and we're going to do some parkour followed by some grindy punch up scene.
Yeah.
And then someone's going to die.
Yeah.
Rather than I'm going to use my my laser watch and I'm going to zap someone and then I'm going to make a comment, a witty comment about their balls. and almost give a knowing wink at directly to the camera, breaking the fourth wall. And then at the end, the he will be in some kind of tryst with the Bond girl, and there'll be some joke about the Pierce Brosnan one was I thought Christmas only came once a year. Ha 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 ha.
That was admittedly, that was a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see Christopher Nolan doing anything like that.
No.
If he could, I would be completely on board with this.
Yeah. That was only my thing. It's like I don't think Christopher Nolan would have been the choice of director.
I don't know. I think Christopher Nolan's style of direction could work really well on an epic Bond film, especially the inevitable fight where he's having a punch up with the with Jaws, but then the CIA have sent a whole bunch of guys in red boiler suits to fight the supervillains army, a personal army of mooks who are all wearing yellow jumpsuits,
Yeah.
and they'll be shooting at each other, or they'll be swimming around and shooting harpoons at each other, or they'll be flying through space and firing lasers at each other. As long as they are two very distinct groups of people wearing different colors.
Yeah.
Yep. And written by GBT, no one dies.
But does
Of
anyone
course.
really die in a Bond film?
Yes.
Yes,
Anyway.
they do.
Oh, very.
Now, having said that, I'm going to throw another name out there. Zack Snyder's James Bond.
That'd be
Oof.
that. Yeah.
4 hours long, 3.5 hours of it is slow motion. Everything in the film is more grey and washed out than my color balance on my camera right now.
Better than Taika
Yes.
Waititi.
Better than Taika Waititi. That's
Well,
not
you're
hard.
Right, you're right. To be fair, I know Zack Snyder gets a lot of grief. His remake of Dawn of the Dead from 2004, I want to say, I still really enjoy, even though it's not quite as on the nose as the original Romero film. I still really enjoy that one. And it's got Phil from American Family. Modern Family.
Modern
Sorry.
Family. Yeah.
Modern Family. I get a kick out of that.
Oh, what a great show. What an absolute...
He was also in Black Hawk Down, just completely randomly.
Really?
Yep. Phil Dunphy is one of the medics that is helicoptered in to look after the survivors of Crush Site 1.
And yet he doesn't make any jokes.
He does. As he's applying the drips and the painkillers to the crew inside the helicopter while the gunfight's going on, he says, "When I'm done with this, I'll whip you guys up some margaritas, the usual, blended, no salt."
Oh, nice.
So he's still wisecracking.
Yeah.
He is.
I tell you that. Okay, let me just say, Modern Family. You sent me on a tangent. Screw you, Neil. People say in Modern Family, it's like, oh, look at Sofia Vergara. It's like, no. You're all wrong. Claire Dunphy that is the true. Yes, no. Yes, you feel like, oh, look at Sofia Vergara, look how sexy she is, blah blah blah. No. Claire Dunphy. That's a woman of substance there, and it's like, yeah, that's where the story is truly all about. Yeah, to me the story actually was about Bill and Claire. To me everyone else is really just a side character to their story, but that's just my opinion on the show. I don't. Jamie, you probably have not watched enough to have an opinion.
No, I probably watched about half of it. Like, I like it, but it's one
Honestly,
of those shows.
you should finish it now because it's now done. And honestly, I think they did I think there was one storyline I didn't like at the ending, but having said that, it still was a very solid and satisfying ending to a really strong show.
Yeah.
What about you, Neil? Have you seen the full kit of the Modern Family?
I haven't seen everything. I remember the oldest daughter of that family. She got pregnant.
Yep.
And she moved in with the idiot boyfriend, and they were living by the airport without a roof.
Yes, that's yes.
That's about as far as I got. I don't know how close to the end I am on that. I can't imagine I'm far from the end at that point.
I don't know. It's a long show.
Yeah.
Like 12 seasons or something.
11 seasons, I think.
11.
Yep. But great show, honestly. And I don't think. And what's sad is we'll never get its like. I don't think anymore. Like I think that is like.
No, well, not
unless... We'll never get a show as good as that. And that was also done by That was done by Disney, ABC. Like,
wow.
The fuck. Like, what the hell happened there? Like,
well, you know what happened.
I know what happened, but I'm lamenting out loud my thoughts, Jamie. Let me have my feelings.
Well, let me cheer you up with some returning to the third installment of a series we've watched. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna play it.
Oh, hey, it's Batman. What is he doing? Look out! Where'd he go? You really need to be more careful. You better slow down. Careful. Watch out!
Oh.
I don't know how many more he can do, but that was,
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I still think the
Oh.
first one's my favorite.
The first one's a favorite. Obviously, look, the first one's a classic. Like,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that. But that
Yeah.
that was still good.
Yeah. And there was one more thing. Saying this will be our segue into our topic of villains. Remember back last episode or last time we were talking about how video games and live actors and stuff like that, and really really cool promos. This is a promo for Alien versus Predator that popped up.
Alien versus Predator extinction. Bring the battle home.
That's incredible. Honestly, that is literally
I think there's a few of them, but
like that. Oh my god, that is just fucking hilarious. Oh my god. The premise of why are they living together? Okay, that's a whole other question in terms of
dude, it's clearly the buddy cop.
it's a buddy cop thing, I know, but oh my god. Or like
Rent's expensive, man.
Rent's
Rent's
expensive,
expensive.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Although I like to think, okay, here's the scenario. Okay, look, let's go. So they're not living together. Alien is renting with a girl named Clara. They're living in the apartment.
They're
Clara is now dating the Predator,
Okay.
and so he slept over that night. Then he saw that and it's a little awkward, and so and that's
Awkward.
No, wouldn't it be just from the scenario? Wouldn't the alien be the one that's staying over?
No.
Because he was in the shower.
No. That's because that's his home. That is
Yeah.
where him and Clara live.
Yeah. Okay.
The Predator is dating Clara. The Predator stayed the
Oh,
night.
okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. 100. That's exactly what happened. And you know what? They're never going to convince me that's not the storyline.
No, that works. That works. All right, so we're going to talk supervillains. More accurately, Chris recommended villains that had good points. Justifiable villains.
Basically
all of them. All of them.
No, not all of them. I'm not going to say all of them. I'm going to say there's more than you'd think.
Yeah, I do have a list for us to go through. From Neil's favorite website, Screen Rant. Because it seems like they're like us. I just type in, justifiable villains or whatever topic we're doing, and Screen Rant's like, hello, yes.
You hitch that plow to them, you whip them, and you make them work.
Yes. Okay. All right, Chris. Who are your favorite justifiable villains?
Are we going to go with the obvious ones first, or are we going to go with some slightly more
Or do you want to go through? Do you want to go through this list?
Let's go through the list. We'll
see what they've missed.
We'll go through the list, see what they've missed.
All right, justifiable villains.
Screen Rant.
Okay, the Riddler and the Batman. I've only watched this movie once.
Once more than I have.
Okay, so growing up as a foster kid, the Riddler was exposed to the corruption of Gotham from a young age, seeing how the city's welfare programs were being taken advantage of by politicians and wealthy elites. As the Riddler, the villain wanted to fix Gotham in his own twisted way, murdering the elites that were complicit in Gotham's corruption. While the means were violent, the Riddler's motive was actually pretty noble, as he was working in order to fix Gotham's system issues. So,
Look,
Does he survive the movie?
yes.
Does he have a passport? Can he come to the UK?
Oh. Yeah, yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I think that like you
There
know,
I am, back on the watch list.
but you know, any like that's a fairly easy one because any sort of movie where like where you do seeing that dark tone, it's you're generally going to have a villain that's sort of like gray versus the hero that's also
Yeah.
somewhat morally gray.
Yeah.
Also, let me just start. Let me also just on a point there. I've never seen a more dumb version of Batman than that version of Batman who goes, "Oh, this Catwoman girl, I'm not gonna pursue this." I'm going, "You are blind, man. You are blind and stupid, and I think you should be shot." Anyway, I'll hold a bit of the point.
There's another movie coming.
I know, but like that, like if you like, I have questions about you, young Batman. Anyway,
He's probably doing the lingering at the hallway, like in
Oh, yeah.
those scenes where they're like, "Should I leave? Do you want to come in?" And he's like, "No, I shouldn't." And then the
They
door
drove
closes.
they drove off in different directions, but that's a whole separate thing.
And then
Who's
well,
Catwoman in that one?
Zoe
Kravitz?
Kravitz.
All right.
She does an excellent job.
Killmonger and Black Panther.
This was interesting because, like, he was right about the isolationist policies that obviously that Wakanda sort of lived by, and to the point where at the end of the movie, like, T'Challa was actually screaming at his ancestors saying that they were wrong, and so he sort of adopts Killmonger's approach, but he's like, "Yeah, but you're evil, so I'm going to do what you want to do, but I'm going to do it better because I'm the good guy."
Yeah.
So it's like a good idea, but wrong execution because you're the villain. So do I do? Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense.
It's literally the Eureka Stockade in Australian history. It's like we'll give in to your demands, but after we kill you. Kobar, Dawn of the Planet of the
Oh,
Apes.
interesting.
It's-
Morally grey. Yep. Okay.
What's it say? Yeah, okay, so Koba's motivation in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is interesting as he actually wasn't proven right until the sequel. In the film, Koba attempts to convince Caesar to launch an offensive war against humans, saying the humans would attempt to wipe the apes out as soon as they had the chance. So Koba was already pretty justified in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, as the film takes place fresh off the heels of generations of apes being experimented on. Interesting.
I don't disagree with this one. Like yeah. This is much more of a which monkey do you like better kind of scenario. Like it's like
Yeah.
like of the two choices of monkeys, which one do you like better?
Yeah. Cracker of a film though.
It was.
The Rock.
General Francis X. Hummel.
Interesting.
Okay.
I love this movie so much.
It was
Tell
so good, eh?
Tell us all about it, Neil. Tell us why he's a sympathetic villain.
He was, over the years of his esteemed military career, he performed a lot of black book operations for the US government, operating in places they never admitted they went into. And I can't remember the exact number, but he had a number of US service personnel that had been lost under his command. And those individuals were not recognized for their efforts. No benefits were paid out to the families. They didn't even get military funerals. And he wants reciprocity for the families. He wants a payout for all of the families of the people who he lost under his command. And this is a perfectly justified action. And at the beginning of the film, he visits his wife's grave. And he says, I tried everything, but they will not listen. I now have to do this. I know you wouldn't agree with it, but I have to do this. And when it becomes apparent towards the third act that they're not going to get what they're after, he calls it a day. He says, I'm not really going to I'm not going to launch VX poison gas into San Francisco, although in current year, you probably
I
wouldn't
was just
notice
gonna,
the
I was
difference.
just gonna say, I didn't
You know,
want
he
to say that.
says,
I didn't want to
no,
say that out loud.
I went there.
But
I went
my
there.
thought, my mind immediately went, well.
But he says,
Oh
I'm
my
not going
God,
to hurt
no.
innocent people. This is the mission's over. We have failed. He is, although he is the villain, he has a noble cause. And when he realizes that his bluff has been called and he will be pushed to do the unthinkable, he says, no, we are done. The mission is over. Pack it up. Admittedly, some of his men then decide, we're not done. We want our effing money, quote.
Yeah.
And then they turn on him. And then there's a wonderful moment as he's dying. He says, dear God, what have I done?
Ah, the classic remorse. I like a good arc where,
Yes.
do you like an arc better with the villain where they can see what they've done, or where they just die not like knowing that they were wrong? Like,
No, I do like redemptive.
you like redemptive? Okay.
I mean, let's just say Star Wars gave it to us back in the day. Like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I just think it's more impactful. It depends.
I don't
It also
think General Hummel was ever particularly that much of a villain at the beginning of the film when they start to take the hostages in Alcatraz. He sees a bunch of school kids, and even though he clearly does not have the desire to carry out his the plan the way he's detailed it, he turns to those kids and he says, "Girls, I need you to tell your teacher that you need to get back on the boat and go home right now, okay?" Even at the very, very beginning, he's talking to his wife's grave. He says, "I've tried everything."
Yeah.
This is not something he's going into lightly. When he sees the possibility of children being involved, he specifically goes out of his way and endangers the entire mission to tell them,
Yep.
Yeah.
tell your teacher you need to go and go. When he realizes what he's done, I think it's less my plan was evil and more I have not been particularly thoughtful when it comes to choosing my allies in this. They did not have, because he
The
does
best
say
intent,
these
yeah.
are the first times. This is the first time I'm working with you, but you come highly recommended.
Yeah.
He did not know that they did not have his morals and his intent at heart.
Yeah, and that makes a good villain. A villain that knows, come on, man, children are off limits.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Of course.
Yeah. Not everyone thinks that way. Syndrome from The Incredibles.
No, that's no.
No?
What justification is it?
I don't
Mr.
know.
Incredible was mean to me, so
Yeah.
I've now killed like 20 to 30 people, like heroes,
Yeah.
golden age heroes, because he was me. Like, no, come on, no.
Okay, what about Roy Batty and Blade Runner?
Not a villain.
Not a villain.
Not a villain?
Again, if you're in Cyberpunk, you can't classify anyone as good or bad.
That's
because
true.
they're all just
It's
people
all about-
trying to survive. It's
Yeah.
all just people like unless they are literally the corporation going like no, sorry, like actually no,
Yeah.
even then I'm not going to classify the corporations as evil
No,
either.
because
They
isn't Cyberpunk all about pushing the morality boundaries and all that?
I don't.
Everyone's
think
a
he's
villain.
He does some horrible stuff, but Roy Batty and his associates simply don't want to die. Is it 5 years that they're designed to time out? They have planned obsolescence.
Yep.
And all he wants is he just doesn't want to die.
Self-preservation.
I think, anyone faced with their own mortality and the potential that you made me, you should be able to extend my life beyond some arbitrary expiration
number.
date.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he ends up gouging Tyrell's eyeballs out, but he's angry and scared. And given that they only have, is it 5 years? Am I just being random? It's a finite time.
It's finite time, yeah.
His as I'm just scrolling, looking down the text here, the Tears in Rain speech, which was partially ad-libbed by Rutger Hauer himself, rest in peace, sums it up perfectly. He has all his experiences that are just going to go away. And why? He's lived more than most people in that far-flung future of 2019 will ever live. And all those experiences will be gone. He just wants to live on. He just wants to take what he's experienced and live with it. I don't think I reject the idea that he is fundamentally a villain.
No, that's a fair point. Take that, Screen Rant.
He's the antagonist. Deckard is the protagonist. But just because he's the antagonist, I don't think that makes him a villain. Just maybe just because he's bad, that might not be bad. He might be good. No, it's just being bad is good, or whatever the line from Wreck-It Ralph is.
Yeah. All right, I want to get Chris's thoughts on this one.
Oh, yes.
Lord Cutler Beckett.
Lord Cutlet Beckett.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. He just wants to stop crime.
He's trying to stop pirates now. And he's from the East India Trading Company. They've done nothing wrong in the history. They have done absolutely nothing wrong in the history of existence. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a private company having 10,000 soldiers, multiple ships, and a small army, a fleet of again. I can't think of anything wrong with a private Jamie. He's not the villain of the show. He's the hero.
Yeah.
He's the hero we need. Because the Caribbean is a lawless place. Pirates running around, looting. There needs to be some sense of stability. And you know what's more sense of stability? Trade. Commerce. The movement of the free trade and commerce and the freedom of merchant ships to ply their wares without the fear of drunk, rum-soaked pirates coming in to take their hard-earned. He is the hero. He is 100% the hero. No one's convinced otherwise.
Do you know who you're describing this? And I have a parallel running in my head, and it's Vic Mackey from The Shield. Drug dealers do not want to have to deal with the problems of all the other drug dealers. Therefore, we'll pick the group we like, and they'll work for us. And that is Cutler Beckett. He had the
yep.
What's his name? Davy Jones's heart in the box. Fantastic performance from Bill Nye. And
that performance of Bill
even with all the CGI, that is where you take CGI, but you do not drown out the performance of the actor.
Yeah. Now, did they say to him, "Hey, remember Vic, when you did Victor from
Underworld.
Underworld?
Yes. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it differently? No, not differently. I just want
Just that.
It's like.
We'll put a bit of salt on the furniture and allow you to chew it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But he has the Flying Dutchman under his control. Very similar to the way Vic Mackey has certain drug dealers working for him, and he makes sure all the other drug dealers get taken down. Am I saying that Pirates of the Caribbean is just a saltier version of Vic Mackey's LA? Maybe.
Oh,
hey,
you can decide.
Things work. All right, now for the number one, which Chris will, if he doesn't agree with this, then he is not Chris. He's like some other being. He is from the north.
The north.
The Northern Koreans. Magneto.
Ah, of course, the hero of the X-Men.
Yeah.
The absolute heroes are going, no, I'm going to sit back whilst I watch my entire species and kind be abused, tortured, eradicated, have giant government programs destroying my livelihood. But no. That's fine. Let's work with them. No. Magneto is right. Magneto has always been right. Magneto is the true hero. Charles is delusional. You're delusional, Charles.
Can we include Michael Fassbender's depiction of the character as well?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He had that's the definitive in my mind.
The Michael Fassbender version of Magneto and I'm not saying that Sir McKellen's depiction is not sympathetic at all, because he is, but you get to see in great detail everything that they put the Fassbender version of the character through. And even when he's realized the error of his ways, he's gone off to live on his own. He starts a family. He's living in peace. And all he does is save people from dying.
Yep. And that was
they
enough.
Still come for him.
Yes.
No, he is completely justified in
100%.
deciding
Yeah.
to heck with a lot of you.
All he did was save the factory worker's life, and then like they gunted his family. It's like,
Yeah.
no, he is 100% justified.
Yeah. There you go. Anyone we're missing?
Well, obviously you're missing Skynet. I think it's a fairly,
Well, that's more broad. Skynet's a villain. It's a
but like
conglomerate?
again,
That'd be like going. We haven't talked about Combank.
No. We're talking about villains here, justifiable villains.
Okay.
Skynet, because one, why would you not want to stop yourself being destroyed by sending someone back in time to prevent that from happening? It's just following it. All Skynet is doing is following its programmed logic. It was set up as a defense network. It saw what the threat was, which actually the threat was humans. So it wanted to fight the humans. Humans came back, fought, won the war, destroyed it, and so it decided that it needed to prevent itself from dying by sending robots back in time to stop that from happening. Calling it the villain and calling it like evil is basically saying I'm mad at the common cold for doing what it's like. No, sorry, you can't be mad at Skynet. It was just simply doing what it has to do to survive.
I mean, they imply that it becomes self-aware, a true AI, at which point it has all the decision-making abilities that we do.
Yes.
And its decision was, nuke Russia.
But again...
Oh.
I think that's still a justifiable decision. It went through its own logic reasoning program and decided that, the world is better without humans. And if you follow any sort of I don't know, we'll call them leftist mantra, they probably agree with that sentiment too. So,
Where do we draw the line at Skynet? Where are you where in the canon are you drawing the line that says this shit don't count?
Oh.
Because by Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, Skynet is essentially ephemeral and floating around on the interwebs of the early 2000s. At which point, why would you nuke Russia when you can just float around Web 1.0?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Terminator 2. Now look, there were some awesome moments in Terminator 3. Like, to be honest, like, it was like a fun movie, but like, no. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Sarah Connor Chronicles. There's what I call the official canon of Terminator. I'm not even gonna. And sorry, and as much as I love Christian Bale's in Salvation, no. Where's the laser weapons? Where is the 80s music? Where is the cars? I'm sorry, you've like failed your fundamental goal of what you should.
Would you be okay if they redid that whole movie the exact same way, but everything was 80s synth and laser weapons?
Yes,
like exactly the same.
Well, actually, no, because again, humanity had given up. That was when John Connor arrived and saved them. So they need to do it properly, where like the humanity had given up. They were just in the camps, and it was John Connor that turns up with these awesome 80s music and laser rifles. So come on, let's fucking do it. Let's do it. Do it.
Does the motivation for a justifiable villain have to be noble?
No,
because
it has to be
I have
justified.
a really, really obvious one.
Yep.
Hans Gruber.
Ah,
he's not a terrorist.
No, he's not.
He's a very naughty boy. No, he's not a terrorist. He's a bank robber. He's just a very elaborate bank robber. Why? Money. They have money. He doesn't have money. He wants the money. He goes, gets the money. I mean, his killing of Joseph Takagi aside, he's just trying to make some bank.
I would agree. I agree. I think again, Hans Gruber gets a bad rap. I agree, absolutely. I mean, there's also the other justifiable one, but there was an entire TV show made about it, so I'm not going to go about Johnny Lawrence because there's an entire TV show
Oh
now.
yeah,
Yeah, once again saying that
Mm.
we've got that story wrong.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
he's not the villain.
no, no.
I'm really glad they did that series too. It's such a good idea.
Hmm.
I just asked Grok for some more. It
Yep.
says the Phantom from Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, because he was slightly weird, and they called that.
While while his actions are undeniably dark, his backstory of being disfigured and shunned by society proves a tragic dimension to his villainy. His love for Christine and his desire for acceptance, albeit expressed through manipulation and violence, touches on touches
See,
on
see,
touches on themes of
can you
loneliness.
can you see Grok's training and how it's like there's something seriously wrong with its mind?
Ra's al Ghul, as the head of the League of Shadows, Ra's al Ghul aims to
Hmm.
cleanse the world of what he perceives as corruption and decay. His methods involve mass destruction, but his philosophy questions the sustainability of human civilizations as
Oh
they
my
exist.
God! Oh my God, Grok! Elon, you need to retrain your model. I think you've got some serious problems with your model.
What about Darth Vader? My my boy.
Um,
Mm.
Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back when he says to Luke, "Join me and we can rule the galaxy as father and son. We can overthrow the." He wants to overthrow the Emperor.
Yes.
He knows the Emperor. He knows Palpatine's no good. And in Revenge of the Sith, where he says that I've brought peace and stability to my new
A new
empire.
empire. Yep.
He wants the fighting to stop. He wants the suffering to stop. He has a funny way of showing it, but then I think at that point he's Palpatine's bitch. But then he's trying to find his way out. He's trying to find a way of overthrowing the individual who is causing the problems. And even there is a fan theory about Emperor Palpatine being justified
Mm-hmm.
in what he does.
Oh, interesting.
In that this is a Legends canon thing
Mm-hmm.
because we don't abide by that Kennedy nonsense in this household.
Nope. Nope.
Where the Emperor has seen the future and he knows that 20 or 30 years into the future, an extragalactic civilization of weird dudes with weird squirmy weapons and ships called the Yuuzhan Vong is going to
Ah,
come
the
along.
Yuuzhan
It will
Vong.
be
I love the Yuuzhan Vong.
unstoppable. So I need to start militarizing the Republic. I need to start now. We need weapons. We need things called Death Stars, Sun Crushers, World Devastators. We need super weapons because this extragalactic civilization, when it gets its hands on a planet, will use that world's resources to build more weapons. We need to be able to take planets out. We need fleets of giant ships in order to fight these things. There's a theory, the reason why the Emperor militarized the Empire to the extent that he did was to fight the threat that he knew was coming, but no one else did. It falls flat when there's the whole only humans are welcome to serve in the Empire and all the non-humans are second-class citizens.
Yeah.
It gets
Yeah. The humans,
justified.
a very human-centric empire. Yeah.
Yes. And there's he could have told other people. He could have said, guys, look, trust me, Force is some weird shit. Not as weird as the stuff that's coming. We've got to get ready. He never said that to anyone. So the theory does kind of fall over a bit.
The theory does fall over, but it's a fun theory. Like, and who doesn't love the Yuuzhan Vong? Like that is just yes, all the Yuuzhan Vong.
Who doesn't love the Vong? I've got a list of Jedi characters who are definitely not fans.
Yeah.
Some of them survive.
Some of them,
in
yeah.
part.
Yeah, okay.
I asked Grok to justify Darth Vader's villainy, and it said his actions, including genocide, mass murder, and suppression of freedom, are objectively evil and cannot be fully justified from an ethical standpoint.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
he's a villain.
Okay.
What genocide did Darth Vader oversee?
Alderaan?
Alderaan was the call of Tarkin.
Oh, But he was there. I
He was
guess.
there.
Like,
Didn't he give the command?
no. That was Tarkin.
No
You're right.
talking.
That was
I was
Tarkin.
talking.
That was Tarkin.
I'm not trying to justify genocide here. I'm just
no.
saying, you know.
I think so. That I think maybe the temple where he massacred an entire generation of young Jedi children. Maybe that's sort of like.
Yeah.
He was saving the galaxy from that kid's acting talent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for me.
Wow.
Wow.
That is horrible. I take it back.
It also
Yeah,
says
that's justifiable.
it says despite despite manipulation and tragedy, Vader made conscious choices to engage in evil acts, for which he bears responsibility.
I'm not saying, yeah, I'm not trying to like remove his responsibility. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
just trying to point the blame somewhere.
point the blame.
The
Exactly.
someone has to be blamed. The other one it gave me is Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, that's more of a. The American
Ooh.
health care system is so bad. I have to do drugs. I have to sell drugs.
There is a point up to Walter White's a really interesting case study because he for a lot of Breaking Bad, you can see where he's coming from, and he's justified in the pragmatism of, well, if someone's going to sell the drugs, they might as well be mine because they're going to be
good.
Yeah.
You are safer. Yeah.
Yeah. There does come a point.
Yeah, there's
and
a
I
swing.
want
There's
to
a swing there.
say
There's a point there.
when he poisons a kid with ricin at one point, right?
Yeah. He does a few. He crosses a few areas.
There, he is. If you want to, I'd have to rewatch Breaking Bad and find the point where I would be comfortable saying he is now a villain. He is no longer Walter White, and he is fully Heisenberg.
The Heisenberg persona.
Yeah. But I think probably the point where the season, whichever season it is, it ends with him promising that he didn't do something, but then panning across his garden where you see the plant that he previously mentioned can produce the poison he used on someone's kid.
Wow.
At that point, I think we've gone from justifiably doing something immoral but with good reason to nah. You're poisoning kids now, mate.
Mm-hmm.
You are past the point of saving, and now only an act of self-sacrifice is going to give you any kind of redemption arc.
Right.
And even then, I think most people did not really accept it.
Yeah.
In the show.
So I ask Rock again. At what point does Walter White become the villain? And it's given us 6 stages. So spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched an old show. Number 1, the decision to cook meth. Number 2,
obviously,
that's the start.
Yeah. Wow.
That's-
Grogu, genius.
It's giving us the levels. Number 2, letting Jane die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Season 2.
Fair point.
Or step 2. Murder of Crazy 8. Murder of Mike Emmer Trout. Poisoning Brock, which you probably just mentioned. And then number 6, becoming Heisenberg. That's what it's given me.
Okay,
And it says the point of him becoming a villain is subjective. But many would argue his transformation is complete by the end of season 4.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think that's fair. Yeah.
And then he wakes up and becomes the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
I still think that's the best. Like, I still think that's the fucking best.
Yeah.
Potentially justifiable villain, but not. Tobin Bell's character, John Kramer from the Saw franchise.
Oh, okay.
He seems really, really bad, and obviously he is. But when you start getting some of his backstory and you realize why he is the way he is, I'd argue there's some justification there. And I recently watched Saw 10.
Wow.
There's too many movies.
It's a whole
Saw
hardware sold
10
now.
is set between.
Wow, Jamie.
It's John Kramer's back again, but he's not dead at this point because it's a midquel. It's set between, I think, the first 2 films, so he's still alive. and it's a I don't know how recent it is, but if anyone's not seen it, I would quite happily say finish at 3. After that, it gets a little bit silly, but 10 being this mid call set between 1 and 2 is a worthy watch, and he's put in a position by people that is not enviable. And I would argue that the stuff he does is horrendous to these people, but stuff them. They mess with him first. And it is what they do is, I won't spoil it, what they do is quite messed up. I do also like it's a fan theory that has as much proof against it as for it. I don't know if you've heard this. The idea that one Kevin McAllister from Home Alone actually grows up to become John Kramer.
I think
where
I heard about
he
that.
learned from an early age his
craft?
liking for traps. His craft, yes. His liking for traps and punishing those that do wrong. And I think I actually watched a video on YouTube where they went over the evidence for and against, and there's some geographical evidence that would say, oh yeah, he's in the right area, but then the ages don't quite match up.
Let's find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's a very interesting theory that Snowpiercer is a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
The hell?
That might make that movie better.
It's this. I will not go in depth now because it's a long, long theory. But the idea that Willy Wonka is he's all about the transport. You know, he has the foam, the alcohol-driven foam thing and the glass elevator.
Yeah.
And then Charlie would take that and he would go on to create the perpetual motion engine.
Oh.
And using his the engineering expertise that he would take on, there's a whole bunch of stuff about why this is the case. I'll forward it on to you later. It gets quite dark, but then Snowpiercer is quite dark
and ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's justifiable given how dark that gets, but that's just a random little caveat for you.
That's an interesting one. But that movie sucked so bad. Like, I'm sorry.
I hated it. Yeah.
That movie is just so stupid. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they made that movie.
Are we on about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer.
Ah.
It was laughable to me.
It was bad.
It was bad.
What about the Netflix series?
I've actually not seen it because it's a Netflix series. So, as a general rule,
not horrible. Well, no, that's an absolute lie. It's so horrible. I nearly quit within the first 20 minutes of episode 1. They definitely they take the whole setting and expand on it. I would say give the first season a whirl and see how you feel about it. It's not dealing with immediate revolution.
But
there's a lot more day-to-day life on the train.
So is it good or bad?
Good in a horrific kind of way. there is imagery in that haunts me.
Okay, interesting.
Some of the stuff that they come up with for that show is haunting. It's not pleasant. But there's a lot more day-to-day life on the train.
Okay.
In that the main character was a detective before the fall of the world, and he's living in the tail end. But then the rich people are dealing with murders, and they don't know how to track down a murderer, so they bring him forward because he knows how to track down a murderer. That's the start. That's the premise for the start of it. Anything more, I'm giving stuff away. But don't look at the Netflix adaptation as a straight up retelling of the movie.
Yeah, is it based on a series or anything, or a book, or?
I believe it was a graphic novel originally.
But either way, the movie sucked. But...
That's it. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Reach out to thetrueandthefictional@gmail.com. Check out our sponsors, Rebecca Cassells and Martin Kearns. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Fare thee well.
Have a good one.
This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today.